Hello y'all on YouTube, this is Rob with Rob's Nerdy Knives. Today we have a very special unboxing, something that was loaned to me by one of my subscribers, and they actually let me take a look at this. So they were coming through the area where I live in Waco and handed this off to me, so we don't really have it packaged. So I'm gonna go ahead, take it out of the box. I don't want to keep their confidential information confidential, right? So let's see what we have here. Now what we have here is a Megaron knives. I haven't looked at this yet, so this is truly a first unboxing. This is a Miguron knives AMR. I'm not sure, I think it's the armor. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. Yes, this is the big boy. Wow, okay. All right, so it comes with a nice little clean cloth, which is cool, and a nice little package. So we'll put that off to the side there. Man, this is not a small knife. Wow. All right, so let's get a little comparison. Here we got a little Spyderco Para 3, right? We'll take it out here in just a second. But first of all, here we go. Big, giant, thick blade. When we do the review, we'll get a full measurement on that. Big, giant flipper, a full back spacer, got a deep pocket carry clip, nice flexibility. It's got some beautiful texturing. You see all that all the way around? That's really cool. Is that a swedge? Well, technically it's a swedge, I guess you could call it, or you could call it chamfering. It's so big that the chamfering looks like a swedge. That's crazy. That's crazy. Okay, there's the tang of the blade. There's a flipper. There's the stop pin. Man, all right, so let's go ahead and pop this open. This is going to be big. Wow, that is huge, huge, huge. We'll wipe that off here a little bit. I'm going to get my fingerprints all off of that, so you guys can see this beauty. All right, it is M390 blade steel. It's got a full finger choil. There's something rattling. I feel like something might be loose. We'll take a look at this in a second. I don't know what's loose, but something is rattling. I want to make sure I don't lose anything, so we'll check that in a second. But there's the engagement. Looks like it's a good 30% on the blade. All right, so let's see, where's the detent? Okay, so you clear the detent about right there. Yeah, that becomes guillotine at that point. Can I clear it? All right, so if I drop it there, double clutch, right? But if we go all the way down here, we're close. Now, the only problem is if you go too far and it misses, boy, the weight of that blade, that's going to cut. That's going to cut. Absolutely can reverse flick that. Can we finger flip it? We sure can. All right. Okay, something's loose. So I want to, first of all, we'll just check real quick. What is the hardware? So I'm assuming this is T8. So this is a T8. So let's take a look. T8. Okay. Oh, so this is loose right here. All right. Now, actually, it might be a T10. Let's double check that. Yeah, it's a T10. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, these are loose. All right, so we're going to tighten that up because I don't want to lose any of his screws, all right? So the small screws are T8s on the pivot, but I'm going to tighten this up just enough. I don't want to lose his hardware because that was all loose. Make sure this is all on there tight. Now, I'll reach out to him if he wants me to put some Loctite on there. All right, is this a T8 or is this larger? Yeah, that's bigger. That's like a T15, I bet. So let's see what that is. So here we have a T15. Yeah, it's a T15. Okay, that's perfectly fine, but that's a T15. All right, I bet the steel bar insert is a T8. Yeah, it's a T8. And that was a little loose too. All right. All right, so nothing's rattling now. I don't want to lose screws. This is a really cool knife. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. Whew. That's a mammoth blanket, mammoth blade. Wow, man, you could chop things with this thing. Now the texturing on this is really nice. I like that a lot. That's really cool. Back spacer. I wonder if that's hollow, because if that's a chunk of straight up titanium, yeah, it's got some weight to it though. All right, got me curious. I just feel like I got to weigh this boy. Let's get a measurement on this one. I love that action when it closes. It's really nice. All right, let's see what we got here. 8.6 ounces. That is a big knife. That is a big, big knife. Wow. All right. Very cool. It's got some nice, it flips well. The action's really good. The jimping up there is really nice. It's not a push button. It's definitely like a push light switch sort of thing. And I think I just shot some oil from it in there. It just shot out. Really cool though. That's nice. Easy left hand reverse flick. Let's see. Now, can I reverse flick at this? Let's see here. Any pressure here? Okay. Oh, that's. See, can I do? Okay, we can do that. All right, we can do that with a little wrist flick on that one, right? That does work. Absolutely do the thumb flick. Can do the regular flip. Now let's see this blade. Nice sharp edge. You can see that edge all the way around. Look at that. Beautiful satin finish on there. Now notice we got a satin finish going this way and a satin finish going that way. Even this is nicely chamfered in here, so that's nice. That's definitely a nice big full size. I mean, you can get your finger in there, do a full flick reverse. Then you can do the meat of the finger, right? And then you can even, because it's down so low, I can get my finger like this and do a flick like that as well. So that's nice. Definitely guillotine. I wonder, oh, yeah, you can tell there's oil in there. As I'm flicking it, I see I'm spraying oil because of the weight, right? So, and I'm not sure, is that, yeah, it's coming from the knife. So it's probably got oil in there, right? And because it's not light, man. I tell you, this is half a pound of knife. Really, really cool. I like the clip. It will give you a pretty deep carry for such a heavy knife. But man, look at that. That is a thick boy. You know, Spydercos are not known to be skinny, but I mean, look at that. It is almost, yeah, it feels like it's almost twice the width of a Spyderco. Not quite, but it's pretty good. All right, so there we go. So we're looking at about 8.5 inches. You know, a little pair of 3 obviously is a much smaller knife. If I were to pull something comparative, probably it would be like a Shirogorov. Let's see where that compares. Yeah, so Shirogorov is just a little bit longer. Definitely a lot thinner, obviously. So if we look at that, you can see that definitely a lot thinner, but it's you know, definitely a large knife. I mean, another one that would be probably comparable that I could think of is like a Chavez rendition. So let's look at that, compare that. So yeah, it's bigger than the Chavez. I mean, it's close. You look at the handle. Oh, if we do the choke up point there, yeah. Blade-wise, blade's really close, right? So, you know, there is that. Anyways, all right. That is a crazy big knife. I got to admit, though, it is, if you're going to do big knife, this is the kind of big knife that I could dig, right? I'm not into big knives, but if I was to do a big knife, this would be it right here. I like the aesthetics of this knife. I like the way it looks. You know, I mean, you could see me having a knife, a smaller, thinner version of this knife. I would easily have that in my collection, but man, this is fun. It is fun. I get it. I get it. I don't collect knives just to collect knives for big knives. You know, I like to use my knives, and I don't know if I would use something this big, but it's cool. Sorry, guys, a little tired here. I'm just trying to get this video in, but it is very, very cool. I do like it. Look at that. That is a big, big boy. Wow. I got to tell you, all right, so it's chamfered on top. You can see that right around here, which almost looks like a swedge, right? It's got a beautiful flat grind. It's, you know, comes to a pretty thin edge down here, but I mean, it's thick. You know, it's not going to be like sliced through, I don't know. Let's see here. Do I have a piece of paper I could use? Maybe I can use a little Post-it note. I mean, I'm sure it'll cut, right? Yeah, it'll cut for sure, right? Definitely a cut. So it definitely cuts, right? But I mean, it's a big knife. It's not one that's gonna cut through like something really, really thick. But you know, there you go. It's definitely kind of cool. I will tell you that much. I think it's definitely unique. All right, so let's take a look here. It's beautifully chamfered all the way around. It's got some nice texturing up here. I like that. That does give you a little texture. It feels almost strategic, right? It's chamfered all the way around here. Everything's nice and rounded. I do like that. The finger choil works actually even for my big meaty fingers. It's a very generous finger choil. You can definitely choke up on it. You could pinch grip this, absolutely, but the regular grip is nice. It does have a lock bar, and that's a pretty robust lock bar, but it is chamfered. You can see it's a little cutout right here. Easy access with a chamfer on the lock bar itself. There is a lot of milling. I don't know if you can see that, and there's a lot of milling inside the scales. That's really does a generous part of weight relief. But I feel like most of the weight's going to be where the blade is, right? So yeah, so I feel like, you know, if it wasn't for this backspacer, this thing would be, I mean, I'd be up here probably where it'd be front heavy, but very, very cool. Again, we're dripping oil everywhere here, but yeah, and I just did it again. Every time I do this, I feel like I'm flicking oil on the table because it's just that massive. Obviously, cage bearings. It would be cool to see this with the, if we put skiffs on there. I bet the action would be even better. Oops! Oh, I just cut my table again. Sooner or later, I'm gonna have to replace this table. I keep hitting with big knives like that. Wow. You know, it's one of those I got to be careful. I got to not get flipped too close to the camera, right? There we go. That is cool, though. That is cool. So you can see the jimping right there. See the chamfering all the way across. It's a captive pivot, T15, T10s, T8s, T8s. So that's interesting. Full back spacer all the way back. And that does make sense because, look at that. I can touch that blade right there. If I were to go down, I would absolutely slice myself. If you didn't have that right there, yeah. How close is that to the blade? Pretty close. It's almost like I wish it would go up a little bit closer because you can, look at that. You can touch that right there. That could, you know, that could be dangerous. So just got to be careful with that. But it does work. This is a very purposeful backspacer and you do need it. Let's look, blade to handle ratio is very good. It goes all the way up to the very tip. You can see that, and it's really close. So, I mean, and it's nicely centered. Let's look at that. Dead center nuts. Yep, really good. No blade play. It's in there solid. No pivot lash. Let's listen to that detent. Oh, let's listen to that detent. It's nice and clicky. Ready? Look at that. No detent play or detent lash. Let's do it. Listen to it again. Ready? That's a nice clicky detent. Let's see that detent ball in there. I bet it's huge. Yeah, it's a very generous. I don't know if you can see that. It's a very, very generous giant detent ball, and it does probably engage on a huge detent track. Now, does it have a ramp in there? Let me see that. Is there a ramp on there? I'm trying to see if there's a ramp on the detent track. No, there's no ramp, but you know, it's big enough that, you know, it goes over that ramp well. It's probably good that there's not a ramp because you want it to kind of stop with the weight of this blade. This is almost where not having a ramp is beneficial, because if you're hoping that ramp, you know, that where the blade tang hits, you want it to definitely be able to stop the blade. So that's really cool. Yeah, this is interesting. This is very interesting. I believe this is called, oh man. Oh, what do we got here? Oh, here we go. Here we go. Does it say on here? No, this is just product information. But I believe this is called the arm. I'm not sure which one this is. It's a Miguron. I gotta look this up. Hey, it'll probably be up here if I get to it. If not, definitely down in the description, okay? But a very, very, very cool knife indeed. Very, very cool. This is no small knife whatsoever. This is a gigantic one. I mean, we're talking like a very generous knife. Really cool. You gotta clear that detent, and it drops really well. All right, so let's get a nice close look up at this one. You can see the flat grind and the scales with the texture. All right, let's look at the backside. The clip, the texture looks really nice. And let's zoom in a little bit here. We'll zoom in on the handle here first. Take a look at that. See that nice milling? It's actually pretty soft. It's not as sharp as I thought it would be. You can see the hollow grind inside, all the weight relief, the full back spacer back here. And you actually almost wish it would go up a little bit further. T15, T8, 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 T10, T10. M390, you can see right there. And here's the blade. Nice flat machine sand this way, and then machine sand that way. Really nice. And here's the blade on this side. I got a little dirty. Got my fingers on here. All right. It's really nice. And I like the captive pivot. Here, get a nice close look up here. You can see. Look at the back here. This is what I was talking about. You can actually feel the blade right there. It's nicely chamfered all the way around, so you just got to be careful with your hand here. You don't want to slip off and go down really hard, like go down and hit that really hard, because that could cut your finger, right? So there you go. Very interesting. Action's pretty good. I like it. I like it. Reverse flicking it is works okay as long as my hand's off the lock bar. I kind of have a little trouble. See here, can I? Yeah, it's better for me to get down low and use a little wrist on that one because, yeah, it's a big blade. It's heavy for sure. You can see the giant chamfering on there. It's really cool. There's the tang of the blade. All right, let's zoom back out. So this is a big boy for sure. Absolutely a big boy. And you know, there's no denying it. This is an overbuilt knife. You know, this is, for some people, this is absolutely ridiculous. And for others, it's a joy to acquire and to use and to carry. And if you like really big knives, you will love this thing. This thing is amazing. If you're not a big fan of big knives, you may not care for this. This may not be your cup of tea. And we're spraying oil everywhere. All right. But it is very cool. I really want to say thank you so much to the channel subscriber who allowed me to borrow this. I don't know if they want me to put their name or anything. If I do, it'll be down below, either their YouTube, Instagram, or both. But I'm very appreciative for them allowing me to have a chance to check this out. This is really cool. Definitely enjoy checking this one out. And I can't wait to do the review. I can tell you, in every fit, form, function way, I mean, this is the type of knife, if I was going to go big, this would be it. This would absolutely be the one that, because I love the aesthetics. I love the way it looks. It is a beautiful looking knife. I like everything about it, but it is ridiculously big. I mean, I almost think this is ridiculously big. And you know what's funny? Okay, I got to tell you, after holding this and flipping this for a little bit, okay, and realizing how that is, when I pick this up, this feels like a small knife. And if any of you guys know the Chavez Redition 229 kickstop, it's not a small knife. This is a really, really big knife. You all know that. This is huge. But this it actually feels small. Now it's a little dirty because I use my knives, you know, I do that. Let me see, clean that blade off. Yeah, I was using it for something and I didn't get to clean it off beforehand, so sorry, I'm breathing on there just to kind of like I'm cleaning my glasses. I have a habit when you wear glasses, how you clean your glasses. So there you go. A little cleaner blade now. But I feel like that's a gigantic knife, but no more. I mean, it is so small compared to that. It is really, it's comical, but cool, right? Comical, but cool. All right, so this is the Miguron Armor. Well, it'll be up here. If not, down in the description. All right. Hey, thank you again for letting me check this out. I really appreciate it. Hey, if you found this content fun, interesting, worthwhile, informative, or just, you know, cool, would you please consider hitting the like button down below? And if you've already hit that like button, would you please consider hitting the subscribe button? Subscribing and liking the channel really helps out. It allows the channel to grow, allows the channel to do more things, allows me just to be able to do more things ultimately for you guys. So thank you. And I just want to say thank you to all the people who subscribe, who like the videos, who watch the videos. I appreciate you guys very, very, very much. Thank you. And if you haven't already, maybe hit that notification button so you can be notified of future content like this video. And then also to all of my channel members, I want to say big thank you, big shout out to you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you. If you guys been on the fence and you've been thinking, hey, I might want to be a channel member, there's a link down in the description as well for that. Would love to have you. We do try to do a once a month giveaway for channel members. And then we also have, you know, I give everybody a sticker who first time becomes a channel member. And then also if you become like an Uber nerd, you get a special sticker. And obviously, you know, different levels, you get, you know, early release content, exclusive content, different things like that. So thank you. I know it's a small way, just my small way to say thank you, and I appreciate you, and you know, just to let you know how much that means. But I don't want anybody ever to feel like you have to be a channel member, because I appreciate every one of you guys. So thank you. All right, so that's really it for that. If you haven't already checked me out over on Instagram, would you maybe go take a look at Robs_nerdy_knives. Again, that's on Instagram at Robs_nerdy_knives. Thanks so much for watching today. Have a great day and a great week. Bye.